From Happy Valley to LaVale Stadium, the number 13th ranked team in the nation has made the trip to Stony Brook, New York to take on the Seawolves. You're watching CAA Lacrosse on Lacrosse TV. I'm Taylor Storthy, joined by Tim Tuttle for today's matchup between the CAA and Big Ten rivals. And while they're not truly rivals, there certainly will be a little bit of rivalry in the blood of Stony Brook's coach. Of course, the man in charge of the Seawolves, Anthony Gilardi, was a graduate of Ohio State, a Big Ten rival of Ohio State, as Penn State will get started and get underway and immediately score in 6 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. That's not good stuff for the Seawolves here, Taylor. You know what I mean? Right off the bat, right down Broadway.
Yeah, I didn't even have time to fully introduce you as we were starting the game, and Penn State immediately shows why they were the number 4th ranked team in the nation to start the year. Colby Baldwin off the quick play and face-off win gives Penn State the early lead. But, Tim, certainly this is going to be an exciting matchup and a tough one for Stony Brook, another top 15 team they have to face.
No, absolutely. I mean, there was a reason behind the badness of, scheduling Rutgers, Penn State, and Carolina for the Seawolves. But hey, you know what? Every game is different. Every game starts off with, hey, you know what? The best team's going to show up. The best team's going to win. I mean, that's a great job by Cody Baldwin, a freshman out of Scarsdale, to, win that first face-off right down Broadway. I think it's, in Division I, a lot of schools decide not to slide to that face-off guy, let him take the chance of shooting it, and it paid off for the Nittany Lions.
Yep, it's a gamble that paid off for Penn State. And they'll be looking to extend the early lead as they continue this possession early in the first quarter. Both the Seawolves and Nittany Lions are 1-1 on the season. Penn State, after their early loss to Colgate, rebounding with a recent victory. Stony Brook, the opposite. They had an early win against Sacred Heart, but are coming off a defeat to Rutgers.
Yeah, and the Seawolves had to battle back on that one too, Taylor. You know what I mean? That was no easy task to start the season.
Yeah, but it's certainly good to have those tough matchups underway, facing off against tough teams. Having those tough matchups builds team chemistry. And if you're able to get a win against one of these sides, one of the top teams in the nation in Penn State, that certainly does wonders for your confidence, because when you get to your slightly easier matchups further down the road, you think, hey, we were able to beat Penn State. Let's go out there and try to win these other matchups. And I know for Stony Brook, as they look to try to chase down the CAA conference crown this season, if they could steal a win from one of the 4 top 25 ranked teams they're slated to face this year, that would certainly help them with those efforts.
No, absolutely. And I think, you want to be battle tested before you get into conference play. Now, many might not decide to pay Penn State and Carolina on their schedule, But they'll definitely be battle tested. The CAA is not an easy walk. So I think there's a method to Coach Gilardi's reason for putting these teams on the schedule. And you're 100% correct. Look at the big win by Colgate to start the season against Penn State, right? So, I mean, the old saying, right? Any given Sunday, a little football reference there. But that bodes well for any sport.
It certainly. And even though the saying's any given Sunday, it's a pretty beautiful Saturday at Stony Brook. Kind of funny to say it's beautiful while it's still actively snowing, but take it from me as someone who misses some of the northeast snowy weather from time to time with my recent move down to Florida. As Stony Brook look to move it around on the attacking third, there's the shot, ricochets off the post. And that'll be good news for Penn State, as they will pick up the ball and start a new possession. Let's take a look at that replay. Stony Brook almost got on the board.
Yeah, Dupuis makes a great job coming around. I'd like to see him turn a corner a little bit more and, run the crease line, as they call it, and maybe finish there strong, right-handed. He's a phenomenal player. He's had really 2 good games for the Seawolves there. But those are the opportunities you gotta answer, right? I mean, Penn State comes down and, bangs the first goal of the game off the first faceoff. You got to answer it. That's kind of a theme. I had a chance to speak with Coach a little bit. Just that, hey, we got to answer when teams go on runs. And there you go.
Yeah, you certainly need to answer. Otherwise, Penn State can put one back on the board. It's 2-0 for the Nittany Lions as they convert in close range. They capitalize off the miss, and it's Luke Wallstrom who makes it a 2-0 advantage for the visitors.
Yeah, Luke did a great job there too. Redshirt sophomore. If you look at the two differences between Dupuis and Luke right there, he was able to turn, maybe get a little more tighter look to the goal, a better angle, and is able to finish there past McLaughlin.
So now Stony Brook trailing by 2, still relatively early in the first quarter. They eventually pick up the face-off, but the ball still gets almost away from Stony Brook. It does, however, land in the hands of the Seawolves.
Yeah, that's a good job there. I think, face-off guys, they want to win the face-offs clean out, right, Taylor? But, that's a good job of Stony Brook. I think their best asset to win face-offs today is to keep the ball on the ground long enough for them to pick it up. You know what I mean? You kind of got to scrap it out there a little bit, you try to avoid, the Penn State face-off guys, from winning a clean-up. We've only seen Baldwin so far, but they have multiple. But you want to scrap that ball out there and try to win possessions, although it might not look like a win for you off the face-off X. It's a win on the field.
And it certainly can lead to the chances that do count as wins and get Stony Brook on the board. That shot just misses, but the Seawolves will retain possession. And even though they are still trailing, they are making the most out of their early possessions. And this time, the shot just sails a little bit high, but that was a pretty nice-looking attack for Daughtry that time.
Yeah, great job. Daughtry does a great job of turning. He gets to the middle of the field, and he's a big-time shooter. Let's keep an eye on him during this game. He'd love to have that one back, though, but I like the way the Seawolves, they've really jumped out to put as many shots they can on the goal as possible.
Great save there by Fracion. He's an elite goalie, and there was a reason that he was on a watch list for one of the highest awards for D1 lacrosse this year. He's certainly someone to watch out for the Nittany Lions, and proving it by denying Stony Brook and allowing Penn State to get back on the attack.
No, absolutely. And that's the thing too, right? If you're not going to win faceoffs, you got to get stops on your end of the field. So far, the Seawolves 2 trips down, for Penn State, and they've gotten 2 goals out of it.
Here's a shot. Is it 3? No, it's just picked up in front of the net. That's a big, important save for Stony Brook to keep it at a 2-0 deficit. And now Stony Brook will have a chance with a new possession of their own.
Yeah, absolutely. McLaughlin, struggled a little bit last week against Rutgers. You know what I mean? Didn't play well to start the game, and that's a good big-time save for him to, get his engine going. There's a goal.
And Stony Brook, right after the save, are able to get on the board with a response. And that is an important play for Stony Brook, because again, with a 2-goal lead, it can give the Nittany Lions a lot of momentum, but Armitage is able.
Yeah, Armitage makes a great job right there. He's wide open in the middle, a little mistake by Penn State, not seeing the matchups, a little bit of communication by the 2 defenders there, and that's a great find by Dupuis, to have Noah finish.
There's a new face-off. Penn State aren't able to come up with it. It looked like the Nittany Lions were going to grab it, but a good hustle on the play, and Stony Brook will retain the ball, and now in this possession, they have a chance to equalize.
Yeah, hey, Taylor, you know what? That was Robbie Smith on the faceoff right there. A really strong sophomore faceoff guy. He came in last week in the second half of Rutgers. He's been banged up on the season a little bit, dealing with a lower body injury, and he came in that last week and really turned the tide to make that game a lot closer than it probably felt like watching it.
And now here comes Stony Brook. Good job playing around the back. Play it up top. Shot. Deflected away. Great save that time. And Penn State will regain possession. Stony Brook so close to an equalizer on that shot. But now the Nittany Lions will bring it back down the field.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal look again. Noah Armitage wide open, through a little slip play off the crease, a miscommunication by the Penn State defenders. And he'd love to have that one back. I mean, you're 6 feet, less than that. You're probably 4 yards from the goal. You want to put that one in the goal to tie the game up for the Seawolves.
For sure, but Armitage will have some more opportunities to get on the scoring sheet again. His most recent goal that he had scored a few minutes ago now makes him the leading scorer for the Seawolves this season with 6.
Yeah, no, he's a really, really tough player. He came in as an attackman and made the adjustment to the midfield last year very well. The turnover there by Penn State, a little miscommunication. Taylor, you want to make the most of your opportunities, right? If Penn State turned the ball over, the Seawolves got to make them pay on the offensive half of the field.
They'll have a chance to do it here as they bring it up the field past the halfway line. Indeed. Stony Brook wanting to make the most out of this upcoming opportunity to try to capitalize off the turnover. Still 2-1 lead for the Nittany Lions. Will it end on this shot? No, but it stays with Stony Brook.
Yeah, I believe that was Doherty again. He went to his left hand there. Penn State's giving up the middle of the field. I mean, Coach Tamboni might want to, have a little word with his defensive coordinator about, listen, if you're going to force the Seawolves to shoot the ball down the middle, eventually they're going to start to go in.
Yeah, and you can put a great goalie in the net, but when you have point-blank shots or shots that are relatively easy to aim down the middle, you'll eventually find them landing in the back of the net and scoring as points for the Seawolves. However, this time, it's a turnover for the Seawolves. The defense, I think, making a huge play there for Penn State. Maybe they heard what you were saying on the broadcast and decided to step up to win Penn State the ball back and bring them back onto the attack. They still lead early on with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter and very much early in this matchup between these two teams. But Penn State don't want to give Stony Brook a chance to keep it level or give them the lead early. They want to win this matchup. On paper, they should be the better team, but they also know any given Sunday, any given Saturday, it all comes down to who can find the ball into the back of the net. Here's a cut to the inside and played back up top. So Penn State will hold on to possession, looking for some room, but the Seawolves defense not allowing too many easy looks and passes to the center.
Yeah, try to play a little two-man game on the top wings. You got a little, pick and slips right here. They call big little, a little short stick and a big stick defensively, trying to attack them. It's a great look right there.
Great movement to the inside, but an even better save, point blank, by Jamison Macklin. The goalie who had a tough outing last time against Rutgers comes up huge as we'll reach the first break in play on that play right there. I mean, take a look. This is the replay of the shot. Yeah, that is just a phenomenal save.
Yeah, well done by McLaughlin. I mean, that's you don't get too many of those right from the doorstep. Again, and to your point, Taylor, about the Seawolves, they have a high firepower offense. I mean, Coach Galati thinks that this is his best offensive team he's had since he's been there. So, Penn State doesn't want to give those looks up too many times to the Seawolves right down Broadway.
For sure, and especially they don't want to give them an advantage, a man up, because they're the best team in the nation with man up opportunities. However, as we were talking, Penn State, they were missing a shot on their man-up opportunity. There was holding on the play from Michael Sabella. He'll be out for 30 seconds. Can Penn State, before the penalty expires, capitalize? Yes, they do. 3-1 for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, Taylor, there's a mistake there. I mean, you get a good stop on man down. The Penn State player drops the ball. Stony Brook picks it up. They have a chance to clear it. There's a little miscommunication there from McLaughlin to the short stick D-Mitty, Filardi there. And again, you give Penn State a second, third opportunities, they're going to make you pay. And, it was a 3-on-2 right there and a good finish.
So Penn State lead by 2 again as we get set for another face-off. So far, both teams were tied 2-2. And Stony Brook gets the 5th of the game to go up 3-2 in that category. And obviously, it won't reflect always on the score sheet, but it's important to win and retain possession.
No, 100%. I mean, like I said before, if you're not winning faceoffs, you got to get stops defensively, right? And then, clear the ball cleanly and make the most of your opportunities there. That's the first violation on Cody Baldwin for Penn State. 2 more of those, and Stony Brook will go man up every time he violates for the rest of the half.
The pass just missing its target. It was sort of a mixture on that play, whether it was a shot to the far post or a pass to the man sitting at far post. But either way, both those attempts didn't find their target. But Stony Brook maintained possession. And again, they still look dangerous on offense. They've been finding a lot of opportunities. A little bit of surprise so far to doing so well against Penn State. But I think that shows you just how potent this Stony Brook team can be. Shot from deep. Goal for Stony Brook. It's 3-2.
Yeah, this is that best player. I mean, Dylan Palinetti is a phenomenal shooter. He gets matched up on a shorty. He goes strong. He pulls it back. Dylan Palinetti does a great job of harding the head of his stick behind his head, making it tough for the goalie to see the ball come out of his cross. And that's a great high shot, opposite stick side high to bring the Seawolves back within 1.
A moment of magic for Palinetti. That's his 6th goal of the season, and it comes at an important time for Stony Brook to make the game 3-2. But yeah, certainly showcasing his ability on that play right there.
Yeah, Taylor, sometimes you need your best player to make a big play. Sometimes it's not all X's and O's and systems, right? You need athletes to be do what they do best. And Dylan getting to his left hand, there's a high percentage that ball is going to end up in the back of the net.
Penn State looking for the rebound as they reset possession. Good cut to the outside, but Stony Brook's defense closes them down, not leaving too many open opportunities. 4:15 to go in the first quarter. Still a 1-goal lead for Penn State. He was thinking of the long shot, but pulled away. His defense still keeping the Nittany Lions quiet, but for how long? Will they find someone open? But again, very disciplined ball movement, and now a cut to the outside. Shot eventually deflected away. I believe that's another potential save there by Macklin. But if not, I know he did get in the way of that. So good reactions after the shot, and the defense not giving Penn State the cleanest look as they'll start to go again. That pass dropped.
Yeah, Taylor, the Seawolves are doing a great job defensively. You see if any dodges or pick slips, they're jump switching, to maybe they're changing their matchups, but so far they've done a good job. Oh, might have spoken too soon right there, Taylor.
Yeah, almost. It almost unfortunately came back with a commentator's curse, but the shot goes wide, so it's going to be Penn State resuming possession. But indeed, I mean, just looking at the defense, Stony Brook has been doing a good job of not preventing too many high percentage opportunities.
Correct.
Only downside is when Penn State has found those opportunities, they usually have gone in the back of the net.
100%.
So Penn State still looking for a few more. To bring it out to the top right. Shot, and it lands. A long shot to find the back of the net, and that time Penn State will get on the board again. That goal by Costin to make it 4-2.
Yeah, this is just a simple right down the alley. I mean, I think McLaughlin would like to have that one back. That's a replay from before earlier, but that's just a simple dodge down the alley. I mean, that's where you want to send that midfielder, and it's kind of a low to low. Maybe he got onto JMO's stick a little bit there, but that stick side low. I think McLaughlin would want that one back.
Time to try to make up a few more saves as we continue the first quarter. 2:51. A hard-fought face-off going the way of the Seawolves. And they've done a great job in the circle to start these possessions and prevent Penn State from having immediate responses after their goals.
Yeah, that's a great job by Robbie Smith. Again, a sophomore who didn't play a ton last year. Again, I said before, lower body injury to start the season, and he wins a big face-off with them. Like we said, you want the answer this year. You want to answer every opportunity after Penn State, especially scores a goal. So that's a great job by Robbie. Wide open.
And they'll do just that.
Yeah.
A perfect play for Stony Brook, an immediate response. And like we've been talking about, Penn State's defense hasn't been at 100% today. This time with 3 defenders in the way, there is plenty of space for the open man to get on the board for Stony Brook. And now it's 4-3. The deficit is back to 1.
Yeah, that's Ryan Breaker. He's a Canadian product, and again, it seems to me like the Nittany Lions are coming really early on dodges, right? They're looking to stop the dodges immediately, so they're exposing the inside. So they're getting the one slide to the ball, but the 2 slide on the backside is not getting to the crease, and that's another big win by Robbie Smith again for the Seawolves. Great job at the X.
Now the Seawolves, if they could try to get a quick goal right here, with 2 minutes to go in the first, they may be able to equalize. And they do have the momentum after that previous play. We'll start off with possession as a few changes are made for the Seawolves. Some fresh legs onto the field.
Yeah, Taylor, a little side note, right? Before, they got the man down, stopped, they didn't clear the ball, Penn State scored it, right? Then, the Penn State is able to get a rebound shot and reset a 60-second shot clock again, and they score a goal. So if the Seawolves can just clean up little things on that end of the field when they do get possession or do get a good stop defensively, this game could be easily, flip-flop, 4-3 or 4-2 in the favor of the Seawolves. But 4-1 could be too.
For sure. I mean, and this defense really hasn't done a lot of things wrong today. So it may just be a little bit of bad luck that Penn State has the early lead, but I know for Penn State, they'll be happy to still be in control Now 1:10 to go. They weren't able to instantly capitalize off their turnover, but they do have a chance with possession to try to get a 5th goal and extend their lead up front. Good spacing to find a man out wide, but not a lot of room to work.
Yeah, that's a great point there. Like, Penn State does a great job of staying real wide, getting big runs on their dodges. But like you said, when it gets tighter, the defense gets tighter, it makes the slides a little easier, right? The little jump switch a little easier. If you see here, right, the shorty now picks up Trey, a very dangerous player here, Penn State's best player.
Now cuts to the inside with an open look. I think that was a save from Macklin, but the shot wasn't very powerful either. So a relatively routine play in the net as Stony Brook, with under 30 seconds to go, may have one final chance before we conclude the first quarter. However, Penn State with a quick turnover right by midfield, so they'll have the final possession. 15 seconds to go and counting. Good job just staying in front on defense. That shot is going to sail wide. And with 4 seconds to go, Penn State will have to take a quick inbound if they'd like to make it 5-3 entering the first break. That pass won't find a target down the middle, so Stony Brook's defense is able to hold on to take us to the end of the first quarter. While Penn State holds the early lead, Stony Brook, in a lot of stages of the game, have looked to be the better team. So what I know for sure is we'll have 3 exciting quarters yet to come here in LaValle Stadium. Second quarter ready to go. 4-3 lead for Penn State. You're watching on Lacrosse TV. I'm Taylor Storley alongside Timothy Tuttle. And so far, Stony Brook has played well. Penn State still have a 1-goal lead and now have won the faceoff to start the second quarter.
Yeah, Taylor, and after those first quarter stats, I mean, 6 turnovers by the Seawolves, but I think 3 of them resulted in goals, for Penn State. So look for the Seawolves to kind of clean up that turnover, ratio, goal to turnovers. I mean, that's 50%. That's not a great stat to start the second half. I'm sure they discussed it after the first quarter.
For sure. But apart from the turnovers, their defense has been generally pretty solid. And that time they deny the shot, even though it was a little bit of space for an open look. That was a tough angle and obviously tough on the move to make a play like that. But Penn State will get the ball back. The Nittany Lions continuing their attack as we get underway. But there's a good cut to the inside, and it's in the back of the net for Penn State. It's taken a while for them to find an opportunity like that hasn't come off a turnover. But now Penn State will take a 5-3 lead early in the second quarter.
Yeah, a little simple S dodge by Luke Wallstrom, the sophomore attackman out of Newton, Pennsylvania. He just got underneath, a little S move from the wing there, and is able to go low to low on McLaughlin. It seems like that's what Penn State's going to attack, low shots against McLaughlin. So puts the Nittany Lions up by 2.
So the Seawolves conceding the first goal of the quarter. They were able to respond when conceding a few times back in the first, but they'll be hoping to respond quickly here and make it a 1-goal game once again as they make a few changes and start with possession.
Yeah, Taylor, that's the second violation for Baldwin, so just keep an eye on that, right? He violates on the faceoff again. It's a 30-second penalty for the Nittany Lions. It'll put the Seawolves man up.
And indeed, we mentioned earlier, when a man up, Stony Brook has the best man-up offense in the nation, but their offense is already looking pretty good. There's a move to the inside. He gets dispossessed at the last second. Palinetti looked like he was about to make a brilliant play to make it 5-4, but Penn State's defense made the right hit to disrupt the ball, poke it loose, and not let him get the shot off. Here come the Nittany Lions back up the floor and ready to go with a new possession and the flag on the field. I think the Nittany Lions are about to get a man-up advantage in a short period of time once this play concludes. Shot from deep. Won't go, but they get it back.
I don't know why, but the Steelers only have 5 plays on the field. With a flag down, you should have 6. I don't know if they really realize it. They're only playing with 5 defenders now.
Maybe they made the change too early. Here's someone back coming on defense. He finally realized.
Wow. Oof, little miscommunication there off the ride. I don't know what the flag is for, Taylor. I'm sorry, I missed it.
And it won't matter for the time being. Penn State with a long shot capitalized to make it 6-3. They'll extend to their largest lead of the day. And that is a very nice effort from long range by Luke Mercer.
Yeah, Luke Mercer with a big-time burner shot right to the low left corner against Jamison blocking there. And Coach Galani wants a timeout.
We're back at Laval Stadium, and Stony Brook called a quick timeout as they have fallen behind by 3 goals now. 2 goals almost back-to-back for the Nittany Lions. We've got them on the right foot to start the second quarter. This face-off, we'll see if Penn State can regain possession or if Stony Brook can try to get back on the board, but also be careful as another violation for Baldwin would see a man advantage headed the way of Stony Brook. But this time Penn State will come away with a face-off and regain possession to start us off. Penn State looking up wide. There's a movement to the inside. Gets past the defender. Quick shot and a quick goal. Things have gone from bad to worse for Stony Brook, but Penn State are doing a great job, and this time with the goal capitalizing is Kyle Lemon, the freshman who's had a blistering start to his Penn State career, has responded to make it a 4-goal lead.
Yeah, so Robbie Smith violates on the face-off X, gives the ball to Penn State. I mean, you come out of a timeout, that's the last thing you want to do is violate the face-off there, Taylor. And, give it to the Nittany Lions. I mean, they made him pay. I mean, a great move by Lehman.
Lehman had 2 hat tricks in his first games and now is 1/3 of the way. That's his first goal today as Penn State win yet another face-off. And while momentum had been 50-50 back in the first quarter, Stony Brook with some massive defensive plays and keeping up on offense, things have gone the other way around. And Penn State, once again, will continue possession with 11:40 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to say that this is a crucial time for a stop, though, but I think you really have to stop the bleeding here, Taylor. You know what I mean? I think that, the Seawolves playing a ton of defense in the first quarter. They might be a little bit tired here on their one-on-one matchups.
There's the shot. It hits off the post and bounces all the way away.
New shot clock, Taylor, new shot clock.
Yeah, and that's a perfect reset as well for Penn State to get a fresh shot clock and a new chance on offense. But as the Seawolves are playing impeccable defense in the first quarter, fatigue setting in, maybe causing a few errors along the way here in the second. That shot goes a little wayward. Fight for the ball. Stays with Penn State. Getting away from 3 defenders as 3 Nittany Lions were also closing in on it.
No, yeah, I mean, it didn't feel like in that first quarter, if you look at the scoreboard, right? 4-3 scoreboard after the first quarter, but the Seawolves played a ton of defense, and that could fatigue you. I mean, there's a very powerful offense here for the Nittany Lions.
And the Penn State Nittany Lions now showcasing why in preseason polls they were the 4th-ranked team, why last year they made the semifinals of the tournament. And after that tough start against Colgate, they're looking to get back on the win column and improve the 2-1. The ball gets away, but it'll stay with Penn State. 10:20 to go in the second quarter. Taking a look back at one of the previous plays. That was a close-range shot that this is the close-range shot that it just missed.
That's a great job by Dan Newton, though. He slid across. He was able to put some pressure on, force the guy to, turn away from the goal there, Taylor, and get a tough angle. If that goes in the goal, that's a great shot by the player, but that's a tough angle to put the ball in the net in that spot.
I know for the Seawolves, this will be a blessing. They're finally back on the attack. Penn State have won the majority of faceoffs here in the second quarter and have held a majority of the possession on the attack. This will be a chance for Stony Brook to begin to cut into the deficit and find a little momentum that they have been lacking.
No doubt. And I think that you want to play late in the shot clock here, right, Taylor? I mean, the time is not in your favor because you're down by a few, but if see, there's a quick take right there, and it's a quick take, a good save, and then we turn the ball over, we get the ball right back to Penn State, and that's a little bit tough for the Seawolves right there.
Yeah, it's a good shot, but the rebound falls to the Nittany Lions, so the chance will come up empty for the Seawolves, and now the attack will resume once again for Penn State.
Yeah, and the Seawolves, they play fast. They want to play quick offense, so you really can't blame them there. But if it gets in the goal, you're thrilled. But if not, now you're back on defense and put a little more pressure on your goalie and your defense here.
Now Penn State plays it all the way up top. Driving it forward. Costin played out wide to Traynor. Passes in the back. Played back up top. Long shot finds the near post. A very strong effort. And it's Costin on the board again.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you got two guys to go to the cutter, leaving from wide open up top for a step down. And, he's able to bury it again. A low shot on McLaughlin, and it's in there. He's two guys go to the cutter, two Seawolves, take the cutter. No communication there. And, listen, the guys at this level, you give them their hands-free step down in the middle of the goal, it's going to go in the net.
And a player like Costin will find the back of the net with that level of space. And it's a tough effort to save if you're McLaughlin in the net. He tried to save that at far post, but, I mean, if it's perfectly painted near post low corner like it was right there, not much you can do.
No,
Esposito in the center for the face-off.
Yeah, Taylor, it's coming at you very fast. I mean, these guys can shoot. That's his third violation, so that'll be a man up for the Seawolves.
So as things were getting worse for the Seawolves, they'll go a man up, and now we'll get to see that man up offense at work. They've had one of the best offenses in the nation, and when they are a man up, they are the best team on the attack. So it'll be a great chance for the Seawolves to try to...
Sorry, buddy. Yeah, and just remember, like every time that ball win violates, they'll be men up every time for the rest of the half. All right? So every time he violates the faceoff, actually will be a 30-second violation. It'll put the Seawolves on men up. Maybe this is the momentum that can kind of turn the tide here for the Seawolves.
With 8:30 to go, there's plenty of time for a few more of these man-up opportunities.
Most definitely.
Stony Brook passing around the outside, looking for an opening. Up top to Daughtry. Looking for some open space, but Penn State trying to shut down the middle where Stony Brook had been extremely effective in the first. That shot brilliantly saved. Not a bad effort, though, from Justin Bonacci. But that's a costly turnover. Great steal. And they can't find the net, although that is going to be heartbreaking for Stony Brook. Foul on the play, Stony Brook lose possession. But we had just seen a great play on the defensive end. Let's look at it real quick. They get a great shot on target right here. And after it was saved, they didn't show it, but there was a lot of pressure, and it caused a turnover on Francion that immediately led to a potential goal-scoring opportunity for the Seawolves. But Penn State were able to get in front and, amidst some contact, get the ball back. And now they're back in the attack. But that was a pretty golden opportunity that has unfortunately gone to waste for Stony Brook.
No, a little snake bit in there, right? That was a bang-bang play. I mean, Dupree gets it behind the goal after, steal for 40, and then, he feeds Noah Armitage on the crease, wide open, nobody in the goal, and he's not able to finish there.
Penn State still looking, passing it around. Stony Brook's defense covering some of these movements.
Yeah, you got the defender hung up, but let him sit back there all day. He can't score from behind the goal anymore. Gary Gate changed that for us.
And now Penn State will recycle it up to the top. And to bring it behind once again. Lehman with a spin. Shot, that'll be an easy save. And Stony Brook can get back on the attack. And that's some of the defense that they had been missing at the start of the second quarter, making a clutch stop this time as Stony Brook looked to make their first goal of the second period of play.
Yeah, not a great shot there by the Nittany Lions, but you know what? Look, you know the Seawolves will take it, and they got to get their opportunities and take some time off the clock here. It sounds crazy, but they got to make the most of their possessions. I think they need to work for the best shot, not the first shot. But then again, hey, you know, Coach Gallardi and Coach Chanachuk, they want to play fast. They want to take advantage. They'll play 5-on-5 here. Great check.
The ball gets loose, and Penn State pick it up off the turnover. That's just good defense from the Nittany Lions. And they'll bring it back down the field for another chance.
Yeah, Dylan Troglo with a great over-the-head check there on an alley dodge. Right back on defense for the Seawolves.
Coach Tambroni's first quarter pep talk to the defense, I think has certainly worked.
Yeah.
They've done a lot better job of slowing the Seawolves down and not giving them the open opportunities they were finding. And Penn State's attack, which had scored 4 in the first, have done so as well in the second. There's an opening. Wraps around, but won't find room for the shot. Good defense there to double team by the Seawolves and prevent that look. But there's a little bit of space, and Penn State will work it from behind again. I was wondering if Will Pedden was gonna go for the shot. Now this time it just gets away. In that time, just missing as he falls, but Penn State hold on to the possession. 5:04 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, if you see, Taylor, I think Penn State offense made an adjustment where they were attacking at the midfield most of the first quarter, well, pretty much the whole first quarter. They're kind of attacking from behind the goal now.
There's a shot that just goes wayward. That time, Matt Trainer saw a window. He had a little bit of space and thought, you know what, I may as well put it on goal. And while it bounces away, sometimes those are the shots that can catch you off guard and find the back of the net. So far, Trainer has a goal and assist today. He's also had 5 shots. Entering the game today, Trainer was second in points total for the season at 8. He now has reached double digits at 10. And of course in second just for the Nittany Lions. There have been plenty of Stony Brook players with those amounts of points. And look at the long-range effort. 9-3 Penn State off a thunderous shot from Chris Jordan.
Wow, that's a monster bomb from you know, about 18 yards off stick side high on McLaughlin, and he finishes there. A local boy, a Garden City native, right on the you know, Nassau County. You know, grew up in Garden City, played at St. Lawrence, comes to the Nittany Lions, and that's a big bomb.
I know he's certainly happy on his hometown return to make a shot like that. Wow.
Yeah.
That's his second point and first goal of the game. And yeah, to make a shot like that from distance takes a lot of poise, a lot of precision. And for Macklin, that's just a really tough play to save.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we talked about it earlier, Taylor, right? I mean, hands-free shots by these athletes is, you know, it's going in the goal. It's going in the goal. It's simply, you know, I mean, and Penn State has proven that, right? They get the Seawolves defense to collapse, right? And then there's that big shooter up top that's able to, you know, bring it right down the middle of the field. And it's tough for McLaughlin, you know, to save that with their hands free. You know what I mean? It's a tough save.
It's now Stony Brook back on the attack. They've been held scoreless in the first 11 minutes of the quarter, but they've still got 4 minutes to try to get some momentum entering halftime. However, the game is certainly tilted to the favor of Penn State. That pass had found the open man, but it gets dropped, and that is unfortunately bad news for Stony Brook. But they do have a little bit of solace in regaining possession. Will was open on the play, but didn't have enough room to take that shot, and Stony Brook will have to try again.
Yeah, sorry, Taylor. You also got a flag down here. I think one of the Nittany Lions, as they were scrapping for that ball there, took a slash on one of the Seawolves' back. We'll get the call once we stop here. There's another one.
Yeah, and that will extend
they might be down by
Stony
2
Brook's
men.
advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already the best offense in the nation with a man up. They'll now be 2 men up potentially once we reach a stoppage of play. 3:30 and counting left in the second quarter. Shot from up top, great save, and that will now lead us to the penalty on the play. But Freyson with a very nice save at a tough play there. I think the shot came from Will Button and almost was able to get Stony Brook on the board here in the second quarter. And that will see 2 players taking a quick breather, and now a 2-man advantage for the Seawolves.
Yeah, and the difference there too, right? Taylor, I mean, the Nittany Lions, again, that over top pass, Will Button does a great job, middle of the field, doesn't finish. The midfielders on the Penn State half of the field, they finish those shots straight on goal. So give Forney a great job and a great save. Let's see what the Seawolves can do here, 2-man up.
30 seconds.
When play resumes, Penn State will have to take a deep breath and get ready on defense. The Seawolves will start their advantage. 3:20 to go in the second quarter and the first half. Great ball movement, just trying to find an open man, but the Nittany Lions doing a good job of shutting down the middle, shutting down any open targets. That pass doesn't go the way Stony Brook wants, but they will keep possession. It's easier to get those loose balls with 6 men up front instead of 4, as one of the Penn State defenders now rushes back. Only a one-man advantage now, but one man is all they need. They get on the board, it's 9-4.
Yeah, great job by Dupree to find Noah Armitage to get in the crease. Noah does a great job of, cutting the space, and he does a great cut right here. He's like a little hook around seat cut right there. He's wide open. The Penn State D doesn't collapse, and the Seawolves get back on the board.
Yeah, and I mean, looking on the play, you see as he makes his cut to the inside, the man guarding him, number 42, Ryan O'Connor, he keeps moving backwards to find the open man on the outside, and that allows that cut to be a point-blank shot that you just can't stop. Armitage gets his second goal of the game, the first multi-goal scorer of today for the Seawolves. That's his 7th on the season as the fight for the ball commences, and there'll be Stony Brook picking it back up, and that'll be huge as they just scored and can keep trying to build some momentum, because even if they are trailing by a few goals entering halftime, getting one more goal or even 2 before the break can give them, I think, a big boost of energy and a chance to really get out of the sort of scoring drought they've had for a little while and get himself back into the fight.
No, absolutely. That's a great job by Chris Esposito. They made a switch there from Robbie Smith, the Seawolves did, and he kind of scrapped it out, and Christian Lau did it's a tough save right there. There you go.
It's a good shot there from Stony Brook, but as you just mentioned, an even better save for Frasio, and that is another one that he has been able to collect today. He's 600 on his save percentage, 6 of 10 shots that have headed his way have not found the back of the net, and instead have ricocheted off or into his stick.
Yeah, Frasio does a great job. I had a great save. I just wish the Seawolves would, again, take a little more time to really work Penn State's defense. I mean, not that was a settle. I mean, it's a wide open step down shot. Give Frasio credit. I mean, he practices too. He makes a big time save there and puts the Seawolves back on defense though. But you got to value these possessions. You know what I mean, Taylor? I mean, it's a 5-goal lead, and you got to kind of chip away here.
Good spin for Lemon. Opens up a little bit of space. Shot at a tough angle. And Stony Brook will regain possession.
It's a great job by Nick Sabella. That's a good ground ball off the shot.
And entering today, for sure, Lemon was one of the players that definitely have to keep an eye on. The 7th-ranked freshman who had committed to the Nittany Lions has had an absolutely wonderful start for Penn State. But today has only been held to 1 goal here in the first half. And with a minute to go, there will be a quick timeout. But this final 60 seconds will certainly see if anyone can take some extra momentum reaching the break. We'll be right back. Stony Brook finally have gone on the board in the second quarter, and with possession, we'll look to cut the deficit to 4 before we enter halftime. 50 seconds to go.
Yeah.
But Stony Brook at the moment, I think finally we're able to end that scoring drought and regain a little bit of confidence, because it can certainly be demoralizing seeing a 4-3 score line balloon into a 9-3 score line.
No, absolutely. And I think, watch the Seawolves. They're going to take the air out of the ball here, right? They can use the whole shot clock. The shot clock is not a factor. There's a 7-second difference in it. The shot clock stays on just in case the ball's turned over. But I would wait. The Seawolves will wait till probably about 10 seconds before they're going to attack you.
They have a little window and do go for a shot, but they'll hold on to the ball with 16 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's not a great take by Blake there, Balin. I think you want to work some maybe off the ball magic here if you're the Seawolves.
Maybe try to find something else down the middle. There, from range, Stony Brook does find a goal to send us to halftime. The long-range effort from Justin Bonacci. And this time, looking from a bit further back, they are able to get on the board. It's Bonacci's second point and first goal of the game. And unless there's something immediately after the face-off, Stony Brook will have that last goal of the half to take us to the break. Face-offs won by Penn State, but they'll have to try a 40-yard shot at this rate. And no, they'll just hold on to it and be satisfied with a 4-goal lead, taking us to halftime. It's been a great start for the Nittany Lions, but Stony Brook have just responded with 2 unanswered goals. That is momentum that could lead to a second half resurgence. However, Penn State have looked and have been the stronger side so far. And for now, we'll take a quick breather ahead of the halftime. You're watching Lacrosse TV, and we'll be back once halftime comes to a close. The second half set to get underway. We're back on Lacrosse TV, Penn State and Stony Brook. And the second quarter certainly had gone the way of the Nittany Lions, but the Seawolves scored 2 to take us to the break unanswered. And maybe that'll be enough for Stony Brook to try to get some momentum, and getting the face-off has certainly helped as we resume. That Stony Brook should focus on to try to get back into this fight here in the third quarter and fourth quarter coming up.
Yeah, Tally, it spoke too soon. The Seawolves on a clean exchange from the midi to the attackman just turned it over.
And unfortunately, turnovers have been an issue so far for the Seawolves. In the first quarter, it was the main way that Penn State was finding their shots and finding their goals. In the second quarter, their offense was able to finally find some well-worked attacks, beating what had been a pretty dominant Stony Brook defense. But now, as we enter the third quarter, both teams fully rested. I imagine that defense is going to be at its peak, but so will the Nittany Lions offense. So Stony Brook has to be careful. Penn State bringing it back up top, and they'll still hold on to it. Looking for a shot from deep. Fires, but it's saved by Macklin. Actually, question, is it Wilk in the game? I know they made that change late in the first half. As the ball gets loose.
Yeah, let's see what the refs have here. Up, give it back to the Seawolves on a push. Okay.
They'll stay with Stony Brook. Just off the edge of the screen was where a lot of that action was taking place. But both teams with a lot of energy and a lot of fight as they got underway in the third quarter. So both teams can't convert on their first attacks. So we'll see what the Seawolves can do this time. So far, their top scorer is Armitage, and definitely expect him to stay active. He is the team's top goal scorer at the moment, had entered in that 5-way tie between the 5 leading scorers with Stony Brook, who all had 5 goals entering this third game of the year. What a spin up close. 9-6. That is an impressive effort from Bellin, his first goal of the game.
No, absolutely. I mean, Luke Dupree just feeds it on a rope to a fully covered big play line, and he just takes it in a little shovel lefty, little, Lyle Thompson-ish, just takes it and big hook here, bang. Wow, that's a great job by him. That's a great look, great finish.
I think that's got to be my play of the game for the moment.
Yeah,
it was a great pass. I mean, tough to find him in a group of defenders. And as cool as you'd like, nonchalantly, Bellin just spins and fires it into the near post, and there's nothing you can do. Fraysion is not ready for that shot, and now Stony Brook have scored 3 goals in a row to make it 9-6 and have turned what was a dominant Nittany Lions lead into a pretty exciting game to start us off in the second half.
No, absolutely. And just like last weekend, even against Sacred Heart, the Seawolves staff, Coach Gallardi and those guys, they've done a great job of making adjustments. They're the 3 games so far in the season, Taylor, they've made their best half has been the second half. So I expect the Seawolves to dig in here and make it a game.
Whatever changes that Gallardi has made over the course of the end of the second half and throughout halftime, they have been working for Stony Brook. But it's tough to keep a team like Penn State quiet. We'll see what they can do on this attack right here. Looking around the left side of the field, shot from deep, picked up, and I think it is Wilk in goal, converting with a massive save from that long-range effort. I believe it was Lemon taking it, was looking for his second goal of the game, but just couldn't convert.
All right, so here's an interesting note. I didn't realize that too, Taylor. Thanks for pointing that out. So Tommy Wilk came in in replacement of McLaughlin last week as well, and played phenomenal. So that's 2 big saves by him to start the half. Tommy Wilk played great last week against Rutgers, which gave him a ton of experience, not coming into D1 lacrosse, playing a ton of games. So that's pretty interesting that the Seawolves have, and Coach Gallardi and Coach Brazel had made that switch in net.
And so far it has been working. Stony Brook with a shot up top and goal. They have been on fire. That time, it's Justin Bonacci, the freshman from Port Jefferson Station, makes it 9-7. It's 4 unanswered goals for the Seawolves.
Yeah, I mean, Bonacci's defender just simply shows to the ball, give which one, I think it came from behind there. Dylan Palinetti with a great righty feed to Bonacci, and he finishes. Unfortunately, Patrick Carragher, he kind of snuck off the ball a little bit. Patrick Carragher is a local product here too, played at St. Anthony's High School. He was a midi, and he's got a long pole in his hand, kind of shows down and ends up making a mistake there.
And that mistake has given the Seawolves life, and it'll lead to a quick timeout for Penn State. We'll be right back, continuing the third quarter. They still lead 9-7, but that lead isn't safe. The Seawolves have taken command in the third quarter and have made this a 9-7 game. The hometown crowd, whoever is out there in the snowy stands, is certainly loving this resurgence from Stony Brook as they look to get back in the fight.
And violation by Baldwin. Taylor, I got to make a correction there. That wasn't Patrick Carragher with the mistake defensively. It was Will Costin. But either way, the Seawolves are within 2, and there's a violation again by Baldwin. Let's keep an eye on those violations in the second half. It resets in the second half, Taylor, right? So he won't get a 30-second foul unless he violates 2 more times.
Yeah, but he did violate 2 times in the previous half, and there is plenty of time for him to pick up 2 more of them. And I know Penn State are going to want to be careful because they know how dangerous Stony Brook can be when they have the man advantage. A little bit of room, but not enough for the shot. This time they put it back up top. Very nice effort, but Armitage can't get it into the back of the net. The Seawolves will simply have to settle for retaining possession. But this has certainly felt like a brand new team for Stony Brook as they have just taken control in the third quarter. Shot goes wide, but Stony Brook won't hold on to the ball. Good hustle from Penn State's defense.
Great job
to win the race. And now here comes Penn State again. They will like to get back on the scoreboard and increase their lead. And while they have had the advantage in their matchups against Stony Brook, they are 9-2 in the 11-game series. Stony Brook is hungry on this any given Saturday to try to get an upset against a top 15 team in the nation. And arguably for Penn State, they're better than top 15. They just had that early hiccup, which is why they slid down the rankings by 10 spots this week.
No, absolutely. And they can't have another hiccup, right? And remember, I mean, the Big Ten conference that they play in is phenomenal. So, only one automatic qualifier will come out of that, Taylor, right? So, another hiccup here, it could put them on the bubble.
Played around, and Penn State's offense finally finding some momentum. This time, Penn State are back on the board thanks to the shot from Will Peden. And this is just, look at this, it's just beautiful ball movement to find him open. And there's not much that Will can do. He has to protect his near post. And Peden says, thank you very much, with a quick shot to the far post.
Along with a great look and a good finish.
Along with the assist, that's his first point of the game. For Peden, that's his second point and his first goal of the game. 10-7 for the Nittany Lions. That's an important goal to end what had been 4 straight unanswered goals from the Seawolves, but still plenty of time. 10-18 to go in the third quarter. And of course, we've got a full fourth quarter afterwards to play. But the Nittany Lions will win the face-off, which is definitely going to be useful to try to build some momentum for themselves.
Well, that's a great point by you, Taylor, too. That's a big goal by the Nittany Lions to stop the momentum here from Steelers.
Penn State bring it in the back. They like to respond with 2 quick goals in a similar manner that Stony Brook did to end the first half. But they'll also look to let that shot clock wind down. There's 47 seconds on the shot clock. And time, well, it's not going to be a huge factor in the third quarter, will become a factor in the fourth quarter. And Penn State would like to burn clock and trying to find one into the back of the net. Down the middle, quick shot, quick goal for Penn State. The defense, a hiccup for Stony Brook, and Penn State lead by 4.
No, that's a great job. Again, another tic-tac-toe passing job. I mean, the Stony Brook defenders here really got a front end man. It's a simple cut down. You got two guys pretty much wide open playing one. Kind of anticipating the slide Michael Sabella was, but he should have stayed inside. If you watch it again here, you know, you got the simple cut across the top. Michael comes off. There's no backside help. You know, we're a little late by Forney getting back there, and, you know, Penn State makes you pay.
Yeah, that time it's Trainer finding the net, his second goal of the game. But just great movement, great vision for the pass, and Stony Brook just left way too much space for the Nittany Lions to operate in. There's some oohs and ahs throughout the stadium as Penn State barely hold on to the ball. Wow. And they'll start to bring it up again after winning the face-off. Well, hey, the fans here at LaValle Stadium are getting a treat with some absolutely great lacrosse being played between these two teams. And even though Stony Brook are trailing by 4, there have been moments in the game where they have been looking stronger than one of the top teams in the nation, which is certainly a positive sign as they look to try to make it back to the CAA championship this year. It was their first year in the conference last year, and they were able to get to the finals. However, they took a loss against Delaware, something they'll be hoping to turn around this year. And in preseason, they were ranked to finish 2nd in the conference, so some high expectations for the Seawolves, and so far, they're putting up some good performances against some pretty tough teams, so expect them to continue. But for now, Penn State have a man advantage.
Yeah, I got a holding call on Bonacci on the far side of the field on the ride.
So Penn State will have an opportunity to try to get another unanswered goal. Would be their 3rd in a row to regain a 5-goal lead. Shot goes wide, although there was some open space, but there will be a penalty. A foul on the play after the shot.
Yeah, I mean,
after Peden's miss.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, they're going to play physical there. It looked to me like it was from behind, though. But my issue was with the first foul. I mean, the near start official, closest to Penn State bench, here's the raw about a hole. He throws his flag. Well, there's an official staring right at it. A little suspect on the first call here, but this one here, I think Christian Lau does hit him from behind, and you got a 30-second push.
Yeah, that shot. That foul after the shot was very clear to see. I will say, even though I wasn't able to get a great look at that first penalty, a friend of mine, Bruce Wozniak, he likes to say that you can't argue with City Hall. And even if Stony Brook don't feel the best about now having to play 2-man down, they have to forget about it and just focus on the task at hand. Well, now they're going to be 1 man back on the field. The initial 30-second penalty is expired, but that second penalty won't in time. A quick goal off some good passing. Penn State lead by 5, and on the board again, it's Matt Trainer completing the hat trick.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Stony Brook's a little discombobulated with the guy coming in. No one picks up. That crease is wide open. You know, you got 5 defenders standing around it. You really shouldn't be able to feed top down, you know, from the top of the, you know, that center point down to the crease and have that guy turn and finish without somebody, you know, being physical with that crease player trainer, though. But hey, the Nittany Lions tic-tac-toe, another goal.
Penn State responding in the way they have to. They lead 12-7. We'll be right back. We're set to resume. 8:22 here in the third quarter left to go. I'm Taylor Sorley, joined by Tim Tuttle, as we present to you this absolutely exciting matchup between two powerhouses of their respective conferences, Penn State and Stony Brook. And Penn State win the face-off and got us started again. They'll bring it up the field. And Penn State were struggling to start the second half, but in 3 straight minutes have responded with 3 straight goals.
Yeah, great answer by the Nittany Lions. I mean, you know, listen, they're a very, very talented team. You got to kind of play mistake-free, Taylor, you know what I mean? And, you know, taking fouls, like you said, is part of the game. Can't argue with City Hall. But some certain turnovers in the first half, I'm sure the Seals would want back, though. We still got plenty of time. A 5-goal lead in lacrosse is nothing.
Especially with over 20 minutes of game time left to be played. That shot will get away, but Penn State hold on to it. The Nittany Lions trying to extend that lead and keep the pressure on. They let Stony Brook get back to the game, and it's a mistake they don't want to replicate, but they will replicate the mistake for the moment as it goes out of play on that errant pass. However, Penn State will hold on to it.
Yeah, deflection by Nick Sabella there.
Good defense to not give him an open look. There's a nice far pass to find an open man, and a point-blank shot leads to a goal for Penn State. They have responded with a 4th straight goal. That time, it's number 20, Ethan Long, getting it a nutmeg goal that time against Wilkes, but at point range, I mean you can't save that.
No, I mean, Taylor, Will Peden feeds the ball across his body from the top left corner to the low right pipe. You know what I mean? I mean, that should never get through, one, but two, the rich get richer. Like, when Lady Luck is on your side, I mean, hey, wow. Unbelievable.
And now Penn State lead by 6 once again. They had been leading 9-3 back in the second quarter before Stony Brook got back in the fight with 4 straight goals, but Penn State said, anything you can do, I can do better. Yeah. And now have won the face-off and are back on a break. That time the goal was scored by Ethan Long. Peden had an assist.
Yeah.
And taking a look, Long is yet another goal scorer for the Nittany Lions. 9 players have found the back of the net today for Penn State.
Oof. That's a tough task to deal with, right? When you have that much talent on the field. You know what, Taylor, but I really don't think the Seawolves played terribly team defense. I think a few breakdowns here and there, some turnovers when they got stops, and then gave the Nittany Lions a second and third chance. I'm not feeling that the Stony Brook defense played all that bad so far.
I think they've made, a lot of great stops, but it always comes down to 1 or 2 passes, and it's just the quality of Penn State. They will find the open look in a tough place. I mean, the most recent goal, that's a very well-defended play. It's an extremely tough pass from Whedon, but Ethan Long, he is open because you're aggressively defending Peden, and he just barely gets enough room for that pass, and there's nothing you can do. So, it's more just the Seawolves have been good, and well, as the camera was panning over, they score and get back on the board. So while I will say I agree with you, the Seawolves have not been bad by any stretch of the imagination so far. Penn State has been just a little better, but there's the quality from the Seawolves as they get a goal that was so fast the camera couldn't even catch up.
Well, I just have to listen to the press announcer to find out who banged that one in.
Noah Armitage, it looks like, assisted by Garrett Gibbons. Armitage has a hat trick today and his 8th goal of the season.
Having a day.
He's had a few very good days to start the year, and this is yet another. Penn State will get the face-off. And now the Nittany Lions in a position to try to respond. After Stony Brook had conceded a lot of goals to be trailing 9-3, they had responded with 4 unanswered goals. And once Penn State also responded with 4 unanswered goals, now we can see if Stony Brook can do a repeat, if they can respond with a few more of their own and limit the deficit. Of course, Penn State, they'll now want to really focus up on defense and not let that happen. 5:29 to go in the third quarter. Some good pressure to try to keep it from crossing the midfield. It doesn't really work. And now here come the Seawolves.
Good decision. Good decision there by the defender. Not to press the issue there a little bit. I for a second there, I thought he was going to look to hit Palanetti on the crease, the high crease there. But that's a good decision. Hey, pull the ball out. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Get another one here, and make the most of your possessions offensively.
Yeah, I agree. Hegarty had a chance maybe to cut inside, try a shot, or find an aggressive pass, but thinks better of it, slows down the possession, and now the Seawolves have a pretty nice opportunity on the attack to try to cut the deficit even further. Up top, out to the side, shot and scored. Very tight angle, but that doesn't mean anything for Bonacci. Cool as you'd like.
Wow, it's 13-9. Wow, Bonacci, another phenomenal take here. He's able to put this past his Fournier. He drops his stick a little bit in the goal there. And Justin Bonacci, he can shoot the ball. Having to watch him play at Comstock High School a whole bunch in his high school career, He's the guy who can bring it, and that's just a tic-tac, simple play, and, he's able to finish that.
The freshman has been on fire today.
Yeah.
Not only was he able to score 5 goals in his first 2 games, he now has a hat trick today, 8 goals on the season, 4:30 to go in the third quarter, and that lead is back to 4. But Penn State will have the ball, but not for long. It's actually going to be, oh, no, they will actually have it for a little longer. It got loose, but Stony Brook couldn't pick it up to complete a turnover. But that is great hustle from both teams there, from Stony Brook to disrupt the possession, and from Penn State to immediately get it back. These two teams playing a pretty strong game, and apart from that goal advantage, pretty even across a lot of the key statistics.
Oh, I agree. I mean, 100%. And a great scrap by the Seawolves just didn't bounce that way their way that time.
Shot from distance, bounces away. It'll stay with Penn State. Those long-range efforts have found the back of the net a few times. I think Wilk may have had that covered if that was a little closer on target. He's done a good job in goal, converting on 2 saves on 6 shots, slightly better than Macklin's performance, but that's just how clinical the Nittany Lions are when they get those opportunities in front of net. That pass goes a little wayward. They tried to find Lemon down close, but they couldn't, and Stony Brook get the ball back.
No, that's a great job by Stony Brook's team, and they did a phenomenal job rotating off the ball, jump switching when they had to, right? Recovering the tight feed down to the lower left pipe goes awry for the Nittany Lions, though. But that's a great job again. Like I said before, I think the Stony Brook defense, if you're at home watching the game, it doesn't feel like they've given up 13 goals.
Yeah, and I know as we were talking about just on that play, the jump switches, everything that Stony Brook has been doing on defense has honestly been really good. It's just been Penn State finding those few moments of brilliance on some of those goals. The reason they have the lead, they've capitalized off turnovers and have found those big plays from their big players. And that's just a trait of top-ranked teams like Penn State. They know how to score when things aren't always going their way. You give them space, they'll convert when other teams wouldn't be able to convert those chances. Now Penn State pass it back behind, and they're still looking for the attack. Lemon covered, and he has to get rid of the ball. And Stony Brook doing a good job of keeping him quiet as Lemon stays on the ground after that hit.
Filardi there with a little bit of a high tap, a former Penn State player and now doing his grad work here at Stony Brook. Tapped one of his former teammates, and we got no call from the officials. I mean, we got an official who calls one from a country mile away, and there's all 3 guys staring at that. We got no call there. To me, it looked like Filardi's hands came up, but I'm far away from it as well. Don't want to criticize the officiating though, but we'll put the Seawolves down. But it looked a little high hit to me.
Yeah, it definitely was close, and I wouldn't blame Penn State if they feel like they may have gotten a little robbed on that call, but as I brought up earlier, you can't argue with City Hall, and the Nittany Lions do continue to hold possession with 2:22 to go in the third quarter. However, we will also hope that Lemon's all right. He's going to take a quick breather on the bench, as that did look like a pretty tough hit to deal with. Penn State pick it up
and remember,
after that pass was dropped.
Right, Taylor, the Nittany Lions are back on offense here because of a failed clear by the Seawolves. A great ride, and that's why they're back stuck on offense again. I'm sure on defense again, excuse me.
Drives inside. A few defenders caused that shot to go a little wayward. And Penn State will hold on to the ball. 1:57 to go. Question will be if Stony Brook can stop this possession. I know Penn State are hoping to get a good shot. They defend that near post attempt, and they keep the ball rolling away. The fight
for the
ball ends up with the Seawolves.
Yeah, great job by Garrett Gibson, the short stick demon. He did to step down and stop the dodge from the X.
Penn State's defense actively trying to limit the opportunities as the Seawolves bring it up the field. Now a long-range effort just goes away, but it will stay with Stony Brook. They had a man behind ready to pick it up. Ferguson trying to dive to be the furthest man back there, but yeah, looking back, that is not a bad effort, but it does go wayward.
Yeah, and give the Seawolves defense a ton of credit again. A great stop here. If the Seawolves can cut it to get one here, get it to 10, and cut it to 3, it'd be tremendous.
They'd love to get that goal, not only lowering the deficit, but taking momentum into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, great
They
point.
still got plenty of time to stay in this fight, especially when we saw them get a few quick goals to start the second half. Now the ball gets loose, but it's going to end up in the hands of the Nittany Lions. They'll bring it right down the court field. 40 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, it was a tough feed there. I thought Dupuy could have fed Noah Armitage a little earlier. He waited, took an extra step, then tried to feed it. You know, a little miscommunication on the exchange there, and the Nittany Lions have a chance to finish this quarter out with a goal.
They'll let all the time expire.
Yeah.
They'll wait until the very end because that shot clock is in the 40s. The game clock is at 15. Penn State still working it from behind the goal. 10 seconds to go. Played all the way up top. Not a lot of room. But now maybe one shot to beat the buzzer. Goes wide. And with 0.2 of a second, all they can do is just send it in play and take us to quarter number 4. While Stony Brook had a hot start to the second half, Penn State showed why they are one of the best in the nation, building a 6-goal lead that now has fallen to 4, but still is somewhat comfortable for Penn State. We're at Laval Stadium, Stony Brook and Penn State. They've delivered 3 exciting quarters, and now 15 minutes to go with a 4-goal lead for the Nittany Lions. But Stony Brook has proven that they know how to score quickly and score back-to-back. We'll see if they can get this even closer as we resume play for quarter number 4. Stony Brook pick up possession, but there are a few Nittany Lions pressing hard on defense. However, Stony Brook now will get some space to bring it up the field and start the Seawolves off with an attack.
Great job. Good snap off the face-off there, right? You don't have to win it clean. As a matter of fact, that'll go down as a Baldwin win for Penn State. But that's a great job of the Seawolves to scrap it out, win the face-off the ball.
So Stony Brook will set up this attack, their first opportunity to get on the board for the fourth quarter. Unlike in the second and first, no team was able to really score late and take a lot of momentum, but now some momentum would have gone the way of Stony Brook if not for a point-blank save by Fraysion.
Great save. But we do have a flag down. Noah Armitage was pushed from behind on the initial dodge, Taylor, and he was able to swing it around to Balin, who made that hard dodge to the crease, and looks like he's banged up now.
Yeah, rough contact after the shot. That was a really good play. Fraysion making a really good save, but yet not what you want to see down on the field is Blake Bellin, the number 11. He's going to get checked out by the medical staff, but heartbreaking to see him down after that play. There was some contact all around. So far, the 11's had a pretty good day. He did find the back of the net, scoring a goal, converting on one of his 2 shots on target.
Yeah, I don't think that there was any push from behind on. There should be a foul on Balin's dodge. I thought it was a clean dodge. I mean, he's allowed to, as long as he scores before he lands in that outer circle of the crease. If you see there's 2 creases there. The inner crease is to protect the goaltender. The shooter cannot land in there, but if the shooter is able to dive across or land in the upper part of the original crease, there's no foul on either player. But I don't think Balin got pushed. Maybe he looked like it's an ankle injury or maybe a lower body injury somewhere.
Yeah, there was a cluster of players after the play, and I think he may have gotten caught up in it. And he is able to walk off with some help. Paladini quickly checked up on him, giving him a pat on the back. Hopefully his injury isn't too serious, but he'll be leaving the game for now, as Stony Brook will enter a man advantage. And as we've talked about a few times today, Tim, they are the best team in the nation on offense when they are a man up. They know how to score when they get the advantage. And I mean, taking a look at it, Daughtry has actually scored 3 goals when they're up a man. That's the most of any player in the nation. See if him or any of the other Seawolves can find the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, Penn State's doing a great job on their rotations of picking up the crease and rotating into the ball. Oh, they got 2 here. One more. Let Dylan up. Yeah, a little slow in exchange there too. I thought that maybe Benashi could have slung it through the seam there to Palinetti.
Now they still have possession, still passing it around. The long shot can't go as it slips out of his stick, and Penn State are on a quick break. We're back to a 4-on-4, so we're actually 5-on-5 for this potential Nittany Lions attack, but it's saved by Will up close, and this turnover, as the man advantage expires for Stony Brook, gives them a quick opportunity. Shot goes wayward. Stony Brook regained possession, but that play went right to Daughtry and then got away from him. That's not good for Stony Brook and almost led to Penn State getting a shorthanded goal.
No, I know. And then Christian Loud, a long pole comes down here. I mean, you might want to let ball out and let your offensive guys do what they got to do. But Christian's a phenomenal player, and he takes a shot. Thank God the Seawolves able to retain the ball, get into the back line.
Yeah, the shot wasn't even terrible, but landed a little bit too far in front and bounced over.
Yeah.
But a benefit that it bounced over is that it stays with the Seawolves, giving them a new opportunity. Shot, what a save, although it may have hit the post, kind of obstructed view with the Nittany Lions players in the way. If it is a save, it's one of the plays of the game by Fraysion. If it hits the post, it's a heartbreaking miss for the Seawolves, and the Nittany Lions are back on the attack.
Yeah, and Taylor, that's a great take by Will Button. A veteran player, he comes, he makes a righty dodge, he splits, he circles away with a big left hand, and it just a snake pit and just hits the pipe. I thought it hit the pipe, though, but if Fraysion got a piece of that, like you said, what a big-time save.
The live stats do say it hit the post, so it's not a save, but that was a very nice shot by Will Button. Here comes Penn State on a new attack. Under 12 minutes to go now in the game. Play to the back. They may have had an opening down the middle for Trainer, but yeah, that would have been a risky play. They think better of it.
Yeah,
still hold on to possession.
Penn State played a ton of defense. They played man down. I think it's smarter than to take some time off the clock or get that D some rest.
Up close, good save by Wilk. That was a great pass for Penn State. They had the close range opportunity, but that will keep Stony Brook alive and only trailing by 4. However, there is a new possession now for the Nittany Lions. They play it behind, back up top. Shot, deflected away. It's intercepted by the defense. Wasn't looking to be a bad effort that time by Matt Costin, who also has a hat trick already today. And here comes the Seawolves once again.
Yeah, Danny Newton, short stick D-mini, I think took that one off the back. I don't think that got to the net, though, but let's see if the Seawolves can answer. I mean, they've had a ton of possessions early in this fourth quarter, including a man up, and just haven't got anything out of it, Tail.
Taking it off the back, that's taking one for the team, because that shot was definitely hard from Costin, so it definitely hurt a bit, but I mean, sometimes you got to get bruises to make plays like that.
Absolutely.
Stony Brook.
I mean, hockey guys design themselves to get in front of the puck. I don't know how the lacrosse guys do.
And this time they work it to the far side. A quick goal, and it's Armitage getting on the score sheet again. His 4th goal of the game to make it 13-10. He just has a quick movement to the outside, gets past his defender, and beats Fraysion one-on-one. I mean, I love that move from him right there.
No, absolutely. That's a great look by Dupuis, too. I mean, Noah does a great job of slipping back pipe while his defender is looking at the ball, kind of ball watching a little bit. Noah does a great... He's a very, very good off-ball player, as you can see by today, 4 goals. But that's a great slip by him and a great look by Dupuis.
And speaking of Dupuis, I know we haven't mentioned him a whole lot. That's because he's not been in the goal-scoring role, but in the goal-making role, setting up and finding those key passes. That's his 4th assist of the game, his 12th of the season. He leads Stony Brook in assists by a pretty wide margin as a few players go down on the field. Possession goes to the Seawolves.
Yeah, Baldwin got called in a hold there at Robbie Smith. After Robbie Smith gave the ball up, he kind of made a little contact off the ball, which is a loose ball penalty. There's no foul. And that's a great call by the official there.
And now Stony Brook back on the attack, but certainly with a 3-goal deficit are feeling a little more alive than they had been at the start of the 15 minutes. There's under 10 to go. They'll play it up top. And again, great ball movement, great discipline from the Seawolves.
Yeah, they're being more methodical with their play here, trying to look at, get those inside slips, little pick play off the crease.
However, Penn State delivering good, close defense, not giving any open point-blank shots. And even with a lead goalie like Frastion in net, you can't give him too many of those close-range opportunities because Stony Brook will be able to complete them. And yeah, no call on a couple pushes on Bonacci, but he held on to the ball, and I guess no harm, no foul potentially on that play. And Bonacci keeps it, fires a shot. Frastion gets in front of it, his 8th save of the game.
Yeah, I think Bonacci was forced there to take that shot with the shot clock running down, Taylor. But interesting. And again, like you said, you can't argue with City Hall though. But I thought, man, there might have been at least 1 or 2 pushes on the Nittany Lions from behind after the initial dodge by Bonacci. But John King got away with it.
Now Penn State will start another attack. The clock eventually will become a factor in this game. I know Penn State would like to try to take most of the shot clock down, as well give their defense a break after they had a couple chances in a row to defend against Stony Brook. Stony Brook getting in front. They weren't going to let that long shot fly. They've conceded a few of those today. And time winding down.
In the crease, he stepped in. Yeah, going the other way.
So that could be a costly turnover for Penn State. Stony Brook will get the ball back. But they weren't able to get a shot to go with it, so definitely disappointing for the Nittany Lions as we continue now officially in about 10 seconds, halfway through that 4th quarter.
Yeah, it's a tough mistake there. I didn't get the number, Taylor, but it's a tough mistake by Nittany Lions off the ball to step in the crease there. Again, give the officials a little credit. They might have missed a push on this end, but they were able to capture that one and give the Seawolves another chance on offense here.
So now Stony Brook with a little bit of space, nothing there, but they have time to keep trying to find the passes, keep trying to find the open men from behind the net. Great on-ball defense to keep him quiet and force him to send it back to the outside. Now a ranged effort, Bonacci can't hit it, and Penn State win the race to the out-of-bounds line and get the ball back.
Scarfy did a great job on Dupuis there. Great defense, great individual defensive effort.
That's a crucial defensive possession for Penn State.
Yeah.
They lead by 3, and they need to be at their A game on every single defensive possession. And for now, they're doing just that. They'll also have a chance to try to extend the lead again. They'd like to get on the board and score their 14th goal of the game, because that would give them an extra cushion as time continues to wind down. Here's a little space, a chance up close, and scored! Great effort and a great solo run that time by Jake Morin, the senior. I mean, let's take a look. He just moves to the right, and he finds a space. He goes for it, and there's not much on that point-blank attempt you can do if you're Wilt to make that save.
Yeah. I mean, Garrett Gibson's got to collapse here, you know what I mean? I mean, he's playing a short stick offensive guy behind the goal. No reason to, let him make that one more pass to X. That's a tough give up by the, Seawolves defense. Again, like I said earlier, I think they played, well enough to win today. Just, the Lions just make you pay at certain times.
Yeah, it's just they are clinical when they need to be.
Yeah.
And take a look at the stats as well overall. While Penn State has had 9 more shots, they've only had 4 more shots on goal. So both teams have been challenging each other at a pretty even rate, but a few more just high percentage opportunities, I think, from the Nittany Lions have helped them get ahead, because now even on the turnover side of the game, they're both level at 13, with Stony Brook actually causing 2 more turnovers than Penn State has.
I agree, Taylor. And looking at this final stats, it's a great point. I mean, the Seawolves had a bad, they just had a bad second quarter. I mean, like you said, even on the scoreboard, it's pretty much even. I mean, it was 4-3 after the first in goal, 5-2 after the second, and then 4-4, and now 1-1 I think the Seawolves deserve more for their effort, but hey, you know what? You got a great team in the Nittany Lions in here, and it just shows you at times you can't make mistakes because they're going to make you pay.
Under 5:30 to go in the fourth quarter, and Stony Brook looking to take the deficit back to 3. And bring it out from the back. There was some space for a second, but good collapse from Penn State, and the pass goes wayward, and it's actually picked up by the Nittany Lions. They have a 3-on-2 potential advantage. They slow it down, however, so they can't take a quick shot after the turnover, but that is another costly lost possession without a shot for the Seawolves. And with 5 minutes to go, one more goal could be enough for Penn State to take what would be a second victory of the 2024 campaign.
Yeah, tough turnover there for the Seawolves, you know. And again, this is smart by Coach Tamboni and his staff. Take the air out of the ball. I mean, there's a bad turnover there. I mean,
both teams not playing perfectly, so Stony Brook can take a little sigh of relief with that turnover. But still, Penn State have been clinical. They finished when they needed to, and that's the reason they're still leading with 4:30 to go. The pressure will be building on Stony Brook, and while they do want to take their time to fashion good chances, the clock is going to continue to wind down, and it'll grow to be more and more of a factor as we continue in this final period of play. Now Stony Brook play it out wide. As the snow keeps falling here at Stony Brook, they keep going. I certainly have to commend the players, especially the ones who are wearing shorts as that shot sails a bit further behind. In these below freezing temperatures with snow falling onto the field, it is pretty impressive to deal with the elements with shorts instead of pants in weather like this.
I don't know that lacrosse is a spring sport anymore, Taylor.
At least the first month of it doesn't look to be spring at the moment as that shot goes wayward. But hey, I mean, playing lacrosse in the snow, that's a pretty cool moment. You see the snow. I mean, I just love that sight, the snow all along the sidelines right by the seats that are currently empty. But that's just, it just kind of leads to just a beautiful atmosphere here. Shot tipped up, and it's going to land in the glove of Stony Brook. They'll keep this attack going. 3:35 to go. Should also give them a brand new shot clock to work with. Passed around the back. Point blank effort. And Penn State come up with it. Big save by Freyson.
Yeah, Freyson with a big stop on Dylan Pound. Dylan usually buries those. I think he came around and went high to high, and Freyson did a good job of matching sticks, and good save by him.
He has a .474 saving percentage today, stopping 9 of the 19 shots that have come his way. And that has been an effort that has been good enough for the Nittany Lions so far, especially as a lot of those efforts had led to some pretty tough saves to be made. But now Penn State with under 3 to go, keep possession.
Yeah, no, in these games, I mean, it's very rare to see blowouts. I mean, there's talent all over the place. I mean, between the transfer portal, and guys, just spreading out across Division I, every team has got talent.
Yeah, and I mean, those are some of the recent changes with the transfer portal. I think it's definitely made things more interesting and helps give players more opportunities and ways to be able to shine. So definitely interesting to see how the college landscape has changed throughout so many sports with it. And it also, I think, certainly helps teams like Stony Brook as they're able to continue to get some pretty strong transfers into their programs. And similar to Penn State, they will as well, as Penn State now start a new possession, 2 minutes to go. Both teams with back-to-back turnovers. And now Penn State will have the new offensive opportunity. But with time winding down, Stony Brook would need a miracle to really get back into the fight.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think, the Nittany Lions, they might even take a shot here. They might just, kill the whole 60. Well, don't quote me. Because, the ball's more back to play right now. I mean, you don't really technically need any more balls. The clock favor, you got 40 on the shot clock. You want it down to about a minute. I think they go into that mode. They're just going to take the air out of it here, Taylor.
No reason not to. And they'll let the shot clock continue to wind down. They have fought hard and have done what they needed to hold this 4-goal lead. And as they pass it quick to the inside, there won't be room for a shot. Maybe there will be now.
On the outside.
Yeah. It'll actually head to Stony Brook, turnover for the Nittany Lions, but with 60 seconds left, they're going to need a goal and a few quick turnovers, and that's why you see the goalie pressing further forward as the Seawolves continue their possession. 50 seconds to go. Will they have a little bit of late game magic right here? Looking for some space, pretty close range, shot, gets away, and they'll stay with Stony Brook. 38 seconds to go.
Yeah, Will Button on the take there.
And here they go again. Quickly resuming play. Long range effort, wide, and it'll go to Penn State. 30 seconds left, and that, I think, will probably do it. It will probably be enough for the 13th ranked Nittany Lions to secure a second win of the season, the 109th win of Coach Tambroni's career, and the 10th win they have had against the Seawolves in 12 matchups between these two sides. Stony Brook has fought well, and it's a sub-5 goal deficit against one of the top teams in the nation. Certainly nothing to be ashamed of.
No, not at all. Like I said, it's, you want to win these games, Taylor. Though, what a tremendous job by the Seawolves to know that they're in that mix of talented teams at high levels. I mean, between the Rutgers program, a Penn State team, they got a few games down the road before they bring Carolina back home here to Laval Stadium, though. But again, as coaches, you try, to find the positive out of it, and there's a ton here for the Seawolves, and give the Nittany Lions credit. They came into Laval Stadium and played